Hello everyone, myself Deepti. Currently I am doing PhD from School of Commerce and Management, Central University of Rajasthan, under the guidance of my respected supervisor Dr. Neha Seth. And today I am here to present a paper titled Analyzing Causal Relationship Between Green Indices and Sensex, a study of Indian stock market. First of all, I would like to thank all the coordinators of International Management Conference for providing us this wonderful opportunity of presenting our papers here. So, let us begin with the introduction. The Indian stock market has undergone radical changes since the formation of Bombay Stock Exchange, which was the very first stock exchange of India. In today's era, stock market plays a very important role in the development of any economy. But with this development of the world, the major problems and issues like climate change, melting of glaciers and global warming are deteriorating the environment like never before. So today, every economy is playing a major role in increasing the green finance. Green finance or sustainable finance is any form of investment that takes into consideration the environmental effect and enhances the environmental sustainability. Bombay Stock Exchange, ranked among 10 most valued exchanges in the world, is spreading its wing towards sustainability. Emerging as a responsible exchange, BSE launched two sustainable indices in the year 2012, which are BSE GreenX and BSE CarbonX. The GreenX assesses the carbon performance of the listed companies based on the quantitative performance criteria and includes top 20 companies from the BSE 100 index with minimum carbon footprints. And on the other hand, CarbonX tracks the performance of companies committed to reduce greenhouse emission and mitigate risk from the climate change. This study has selected three indices to assess the relationship between the green indices and the Sensex and the impact of these on each other. Now, I would like to present some insights of literature that were reviewed to find the gap. Bharnidharan and co-authors in their study conducted in 2019 analyzed the causal relationship and degree of volatility in BSE Sensex and sectoral indices for the period 2014 to 2019, and it was found that there was a unidirectional relationship among them. Maguire 2002 investigated to examine long-run relationship between the stock prices of Jordanian Stock Exchange and some selected macroeconomic variables, and he concluded that the macroeconomic variables being studied are important in reflecting the stock prices of Jordanian Stock Exchange. Gupta, in his study conducted in 2011, examined whether the returns of Indian stock market and the stock market returns of selected five other major Asian economies are correlated or not. He concluded that the Indian stock market was integrated with the emerging selected five Asian markets. Madhusudanan and Kumar, in their study conducted in 2008, examined the co-integration as well as the causality between the BSE and NSE. The co-integration between Sensex and Nifty is tested by using the Johansson's co-integration test. The analysis concludes that the BSE and NSE are integrated, and the study also confirms the markets to be efficient. Now, the objective of this paper is to examine the long-term and causal relationship between the sustainability indices and Sensex of Bombay Stock Exchange. The study uses the daily closing prices for the period December 2012 to January 2021 for the days on which BSE Sensex was open for trading. The historical data of GreenX, CarbonX and Sensex has been taken, which are the sample of the study. Unit root test, Johansson's co-integration and Granger's causality are employed to fulfill the objective of the study. First of all, descriptive study is presented to describe the focal points of data to gain better understanding regarding the collected data. Sensex shows the highest volatility during the set period because the standard deviation is the highest for Sensex during the period, followed by GreenX and CarbonX. The value of skewness and kurtosis ascertains whether the data is normally distributed or not. The value of skewness for a normal distribution data is 0 and the value of kurtosis of a normal distribution is 3. The table 1 has no variable having 0 skewness and kurtosis equals to 3, which implies that the data is not normal, which is also verified with Jark-Barrett statistic and probability values. Jark-Barrett test is a test of goodness of fit to inspect whether the sample data have the skewness and kurtosis values equals to that of a normal distribution. Before proceeding any further, I would like to explain all the tools used in this study. The first one is unit root test. Unit root test is a widely used method for testing the stationarity or non-stationarity in a time series. A stationary time series is said to be one which has a constant mean, variance and covariance, and if not, then it possesses an unit root. The test for co-integration can be executed only when the variables under consideration are non-stationary at level and integrated of the same order. There are various methods to test for unit root or non-stationarity. Augmented Dickey-Fuller is the widely used method and has been employed in this study. The second one is Johansson's co-integration test. Johansson's model is used to examine the long-run structural linkages between the several time series or to find out whether there is any correlation among series in the long run or not. Means if the linear combination of two non-stationary time series is found to be stationary, then these series are said to be co-integrated. The two or more series are non-stationary integrated together in a manner that they can't drift apart from each other in a long run. Granger's causality test. Introduced in 1969, this test examines whether changes in one series can be explained due to the changes occurred in the another series. Two or more series can be analyzed for cause and effect relationship using this test, and short-term link between them could be identified. Now, I would like to present the analysis of the study. We tested the presence of unit root starting with the levels and later took the first difference using augmented Dickey-Fuller test, the results of which are presented in the table number 2. After ensuring that the linear combination of non-stationary variables are all stationary, the co-integration relationship between variables using Johansson's co-integration is checked. This is followed by Granger's causality test to ascertain the causal relationship. Starting with the results of unit root test, which examines whether the time series are stationary or not, augmented Dickey-Fuller has been employed in this study. The results of ADF are exhibited in table number 2 due to the time limitations. I have presented only the summary of the test rather than the original tables. The table shows that all the three indices, that is SenseX, CarbonX and GreenX, fails to reject the null hypothesis. ADF takes null hypothesis equals to index has a unit root. Since at level all the values or the probability values are more than 0.05 level of significance, means null hypothesis can't be rejected and is correct, and indices are non-stationary at level. The first difference of indices is again tested with the same test, and the results indicates that all the indices become stationary after differencing once. Hence, null hypothesis is rejected for first difference and unit root is not found in any considered indices. Since all the variables became stationary at first difference, which is the major condition for employing co-integration test, we employed Johansson's co-integration test. This test measures whether the series have a long-run relationship or not. In this study, co-integration is examined once through trace test and then through eigenvalue, which is shown in table number 3. The trace test fails to reject none, depicting no co-integration between the three indices, as the p-value is greater than 0.05, which fails to reject the null hypothesis, which was there is no co-integration at 0.05 level of significance. Maximum eigentest also supports the trace test and concludes that no co-integration exists among the selected indices, hence there will not be any long-run relationship between the BSC CarbonX, GreenX and SenseX. In table number 4, the results of Granger's causality test are presented. This test basically examines whether the variables used in the study are cause behind the changes caused in the other, or they have any effect on the other variable. So in this table, as per the rule, two variables are taken at a time and examines the cause-effect relation. The null hypotheses are that X index does not bring a cause Y, and in the same way Y also doesn't bring a cause X. So starting with GreenX and CarbonX, firstly it is checked that if GreenX is the cause for any change in the CarbonX and vice versa if CarbonX is the cause for any change in GreenX. In the same manner, pairwise the causality is checked, and in all the cases the p-value like 0.7515, 0.9759, 0.6923 and so on are greater than 0.05, hence fails to reject the null hypothesis means all the null hypotheses here are accepted and there is no cause and effect relation among these indices. After going through all these tests, I would like to now conclude this presentation by saying this paper scrutinized the integration and causality of BSC indices through the tests such as unit root, Johansson's co-integration and Granger causality test using the daily closing prices for the period 2012 to 2021. The results suggest that there lies no co-integration among these three indices and hence implies no long-run relationship. The Granger causality results shows that these indices are not affecting each other even in the short run. These indices are neither affecting nor affected by each other. The study will be helpful for institutional investors and traders to reap the benefit of long-term investment in these indices and also help the regulatory authorities and policymakers to frame policies. Further, future research may be carried out by taking into consideration the sustainable indices at global level and may analyze assets like green bonds and derivatives by applying more modified approaches to suggest scope of investment and other policy-related decisions. Now, this is the list of references which were used for this study. Thank you very much for listening. Have a nice day.